Hello everyone, I am Alka1993 and welcome to this Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion video. Earlier today, for the first time in quite a few months, I participated in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. It is HAYCS number 1 in Toronto. This is the final day of the first round, and I had just finished my match against God of Desires. And the moment I closed down the game and went to the main menu, someone was like, "Ban list is out." No, I don't like to use the term ban list because that's something else than forbidden limited list. I know it's easier, it's shorter, and easier to say, but it's something else. So I'm going to stick to the official term, forbidden limited list. And yeah, it is out. So I'm going to discuss it with you. Let us take a look. The original list is going to stay effective until July 15th. That is today. Wow, so it really is just going tomorrow. It's just bam, tomorrow it's in effect. It's not just like, oh, we're waiting for the end of the weekend. It's just tomorrow. So, round 2 onwards in the tournament is immediately a new list. So that's going to change what we use. Because there's no sign up with an exact deck until we get to single elimination. We can swap decks every round. Okay. Eclipse Wyvern is out. Forbidden from nothing. It was useful in some decks. I remember was it the days of was it Chaos Dragon, Dino Rabbit, Insector? I think Eclipse Wyvern was in Chaos Dragon, pretty sure. Haven't seen it much recently. Then again, it's only just before the tournament that I started playing a bit more again. So, and I haven't seen Eclipse Wyvern, whether it's a regular or not, or if it's part of an OTK somewhere or lock. I'm unsure. You have to tell me, please let me know if you know that in the comments. The Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. It's completely gone. Okay, that is a useful card, I think. It wasn't that one of the cards that you got as a promo with like 3 decks you got together. It was a Nordic deck, was a Phantom Knights deck, was another deck. You could buy that as like a pack in something a few months ago. That thing was released. If it's using someone Phantom Knights monster deck, if it, maybe this was just a bit too good, I guess. Like, you send something to the graveyard to set something up for an effect, and you get a card immediately. And if a Dark Exceeds monster is summoned to its undiscovered points to, you can target a card and destroy it. Might be a really easy way to destroy things, get an advantage, and they wanted to get rid of it. Still, immediately to forbidden? Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? We have spells. Any spells? Any spells? No. Traps? No. Thing is, there might be some things that are gone from this that I don't notice yet, because I don't know this entire pretty long list at this point from the top of my head. Alright. Altergeist multi. I literally just played against Altergeist! I literally just played against Altergeist, and the combo with Multi-Faker was really annoying. What was the combo? I don't know Altergeist decently well. They just used any trap. Often it was spoofing whatever. It's not an Altergeist card, but it works for them. They do whatever, then they play Multi-Faker, and then Multi-Faker's effect, and then they special summon the Silcatus, and then they return Multi-Faker to the hand, and then Silcatus get rid of something. It's all in the end phase. And then they can repeat that a few times, especially if spoofing stays on the field, and I didn't have removal for it. Multi-Faker in the combo to having that combo is very nice. It's a very powerful combo in Altergeist, so I can see why it's useful. It already summoning an extra monster is useful. There's a bunch of traps that Altergeist have, and the combo with Silcatus is very powerful. So I guess I can see it going to limited. Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. What's happening to Chaos Dragon? Well, there goes my idea for the Shadow. Like they got Construct back last time. I'm gonna have to check after the end of the list where Construct is now, but I haven't actually worked on a new Shadow deck. But because Construct was back, I was working on it, and I remember my original Shadow deck did have Black Dragon Collapse Serpent and White Dragon Wyvern Burster. The Collapse Serpent is okay, so it's definitely something with Chaos Dragons, or in Chaos. It doesn't have to necessarily be dragons, as Eclipse Wyvern and this thing happen to be dragons, but Chaos cards. Eclipse Wyvern, Black and Red Collapse Serpent, White Dragon Wyvern Burster might just be one of them as well then. We'll see it later in the alphabet. Salamangreat Gazelle, a Salamangreat card. Was expected. The Salamangreats are just very good, so it could be expected that there's a Salamangreat card there. Express some scar from your hand, so that can be because in if effect after link summon, summon Gazelle, link summon more. If it's normal special summon, you can send Salamangreat from your deck to your grave. Just set something up in the graveyard as well. Set something in the graveyard up and just add one to whatever link you do. So let's say you have a link 2, you can just summon this, have a link 3 or Heat Leo or whatever. Yes, it works. I know Salamangreat works well, and because of the structure deck, it's not that much of an expensive deck to build in real life, and I've heard a lot about that in the shops that I sometimes go to. But I don't pay for the card in real life. I don't play competitively in real life, so I actually decided to not use Salamangreat, even though I am interested in them. I think the next deck I'm working on is Shaddoll, but I first have to take a look at how this Forbidden Limited list affects the possibilities of that deck. Tempest! Whoa, 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 whoa! We have a Dragon Ruler. Okay, I don't know where these little babies are, because they were nothing. The Tempest is back. Okay, so this is the first time. Well, in the Dragon Ruler era, you had all of them, and then I think one of them went to 2, and then this, or like either the babies or the big ones, and then the babies got forbidden, and then they were like, nah, it's not enough because the big ones are still very strong. So they brought the babies back, and they completely made the rest forbidden. Why is Tidal back? It feels weird to have any of them back. It's at 1, so it's definitely gonna work in Dragon or Water decks. Maybe they want to give a certain kind of deck support, but then it's still, huh. It's interesting that it comes back, and wait, Tidal is after all the others in the... Wait, I'm gonna have to check. Tempest, Redox, Blaster. Are they still here? Wait, what? Tidal, Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls is forbidden. Oh, it's Tempest, not Tidal. Tempest comes back. The wind one, not the water one. I completely mistook that. Okay. So Tidal is still there, Redox is still there, and Blaster's still there. Why is it just Tempest? What are the other ones then? I'm gonna have to gonna have to pay attention to what all these do. I like them just as separate cards. Like Stream and React or just in terms of levels, or cards I'd like to just use in a deck at some point. Maybe they did something to Lightning to make it not work as well with Tempest. But yeah, then again, the summon's only from the deck. It says the moment you draw into it, or it's in the graveyard, it doesn't work as well. Still, very interesting that the Tempest is back. White Dragon Wyvern Burst, yeah, I saw that one coming. After Eclipse Wyvern was forbidden and the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent is here, then it makes sense that White Dragon Wyvern Burster is there as well. Yeah. Okay. Something of a Chaos deck that I've missed in the past month or so. Anything else? Links. Why are links before synchros? I was gonna say it might be because of alphabetical order, but then why is Ritual in front of you? Maybe Ritual is first because it's a main deck thing, and then come all the extra deck things in alphabetical order? Where's the pendulums then? Or are they not listed as much as such? No. Okay. I just saw something. I don't know what it was. Daigusto Emerald. Okay. I remember when Emerald was forbidden. I saw it in quite a lot of deck lists at the time, but therefore I had it in some of my deck lists because I thought it would probably make sense to have it. But I don't think I ever summoned it. Maybe once, just because it was used so much, and I was like, maybe I should just use it at this point. And I decided to summon it maybe once, but maybe I'm even wrong about that, and I just thought about it. I never actually used this a lot. I think it's mostly this effect, like the getting stuff back in your deck effect that's useful about Emerald. Maybe it's not considered to be as good as it was. Maybe because new cards have been um, that have been released. Meta is now different. Other cards have been limited list. There can be various reasons for Emerald coming back. Any spells? There's quite a lot of spells. There's Salamangreat Circle. Salamangreat's like the quick play spell that either is a searcher. It's a searcher in general for an archetype, which is already good. Then it's a quick play spell, which is better. And then it also has a second effect, so it's just a very useful card to have. I can see why it's limited. It just in general for any archetype it seems like a good card to have. There's a Sky Striker that was hit. Sky Striker Mega Modules Multi-Roll. I remember the last tournament I played in for Yu-Gi-Oh! A few months ago. I played against Sky Striker twice, I think. I don't remember too much about them except that their Xyz monsters can be pretty hard to deal with, and you can link them either into each other or through some effects. You can summon a bunch of them, and they can be pretty hard to deal with. Bunch of spells that are useful. That's why I have two. I think that's why I have two Curse of Darkness in my in my side deck in the deck that I used back then. It was probably an anti-Sky Striker card. Ooh, Terraforming and Light Stage. So Terraforming down one. It's generally useful in decks with field spells, and maybe they want to weaken Trickstar. It's Trickstar, right? Oh, Light Stage is not together. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Trickstar Light is a good card. Little bits of chip damage for a lot of things. I think it was yesterday or something, or either earlier today. I watched a replay from the round one of the tournament that I'm in. Seeing like a Trickstar together with Phantom Knight, together with was it Altergeist? I'm not sure. But I saw a combination of archetypes, and Light Stage was one of the cards that I saw in that. I didn't watch the entire match. I remember seeing a good combination of archetypes and cards, and this being one of them. So maybe it's because of that combination that became very good that Light Stage is limited. It's a nice card to have. You get a Trickstar card. Set card can be activated until the end phase, and a little bit helps with a little bit of chip damage as well. Okay. And then, yeah, Terraforming is down. Maybe that's because of Trickstar Light Stage. Maybe there's something else with field spells that we're going to get to in a second. Metaverse? Isn't that... I saw Metaverse was used against me today as well. Maybe they only had one of the card, but why didn't this come in? Why couldn't my match have been like the next day? I might have had a chance. Then again, they might have used a completely different deck. But Metaverse is used against me. That was a very interesting strategy. They used Metaverse specifically as a trap, I think, instead of using Terraforming, so they can use it during my turn. Is to use Metaverse to play Secret Village of Spellcasters, because all the Altergeist are spellcasters, and they stopped me from using my spells. And my spells, although I had some of the traps, most of my spells were either drawing or searching spells. And I really needed that to stay consistent, otherwise I would be able to run out of resources really quickly. And so from game 2 onwards, they had Metaverse, which they were only able to pull off once, Metaverse on Secret Village to stop most of my draws. And for the rest, they had whatever the hand trap is that stops drawing. So yeah, they really interrupted me with that, and they took it. I won the game 1, they won the rest, which is unfortunate. So yeah, definitely something against field spells. Is it really just Light Stage? Is it that useful, or is it more? Anyway, semi-limited now. Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. Came in after an errata, and it was likely decided that it was safe enough after a little test as limited to bring it to semi. Okay. Multiple danger cards. First one is Danger Nessie. I don't know. I just know that the danger cards are TCG exclusive. I think I've seen them once. I think it's like destroy things in your hand or something and then summon them. I know very little about how they work, so I wouldn't be able to tell you too much about what the four Danger Nessie, Jackalope, and Tsuchinoko. Jackalope here, Tsuchinoko. Probably useful. I wouldn't be able to tell you. They're just semi-limited. Destiny Hero Militia is still there. Ether, the Heavenly Monarch. Okay, so the Monarch deck becoming slightly more useful again with this thing coming back. I remember using Monarch for a little while. I knew how that worked. It's been a while, so I don't remember them too well, but this was definitely one of the main cards in there. Stratos! Stratos isn't just limited, it's now semi-limited, so that's nice for hero players. People have been asking a lot for Stratos to come back, and then it was limited, and now it is semi-limited, so that's a nice thing for hero players. And then Insector Dragonfly. Being limited for quite a long time. I think Hornet was hit for a little bit as well, came back, or Dragonfly did too. I like playing as Insectors, so I think I might want to build an Insector deck again, now that I'm thinking about it. Now with Dragonfly back and do the combo with Hornet a bit more. Then Centipede, potentially like a Gigament in there, Ladybug to alter some levels. I might want to try Insectors again. Okay. And then we have Performage Damage Juggler. Yeah, that was limited, I think, for some time. Wait, wasn't this this was a combo with something else, wasn't it? Like 1,000 Blades? Was this one? Performation deck to your hand. No, this wasn't 1,000 Blades, that was something else. Was it? I need to check. 1,000 Blades. When you take damage with this card in your graveyard. So something that deals you damage. Oh, that was Trickline. That was someone else. It wasn't Damage Juggler. Shuret, Strategist of the Necros. So Necros being let loose again just a little bit, with Shuret coming from limited to semi. Okay. And then I see Royal Tribute there as well, giving a little more of the anti-meta options again for Gravekeepers. Although this doesn't necessarily have to be Gravekeepers, Necro Valley itself can just be an anti-meta card. And then you can use Royal Tribute alongside it, but Gravekeepers themselves obviously work with Necro Valley because it gives them extra stats, and they have some effects that require Necro Valley, and Royal Tribute, if you have Necro Valley, can work very well in an anti-meta kind of way. So, Royal Tribute coming back to semi as well. And what things are being unlimited? Qliphort Scout! The Searcher for Qliphort is back. I guess it makes a little sense with Pendulums being a lot weaker since Master Rule 4 came in effect. Now, Qliphorts do have Qliphort Genius, so to make proper use of Qliphort, you'll probably need your Genius. Get 2 of your monsters from the extra deck, assuming that that's the only link monster on the field, and 2 monsters from the extra deck, and then maybe more from your hand. Qliphort Scout at least is back, allowing you to search more of your cards. Maybe you can bring out your towers. So let's see what people can do. Maybe we'll see a bit more Qliphort with Scouts back. Although Master Rule 4 is definitely still in its way, it can still be annoying. Luster Pendulum the Dragon Slayer. Ah, I remember this one. I thought it was something else. And I mixed it up with, I think, the Synchro Draco Slayer. Yeah, I remember this card. Being able to work pretty well. Destroying one of your other pendulum cards to get the same card back, so you pretty much keep the same pendulum scales, and then you can just pendulum some of the thing you just destroyed back, giving you a nice advantage. So it's a nice card to have. But maybe because we're well into the Link era, pendulums aren't as prominent, so they decided to bring Luster Pendulum the Draco Slayer back. Trishula is back. Okay. Trish is back. Trishula. A lot of changes. Quite a lot of changes. Okay, so Trishula is back as well. Is that the only other card? No, there's way more. Dark Hole, Monster Gate, what? Dark Hole for the destruction. Okay. So Raigeki is still one which makes sense. Dark Hole back to unlimited. You can use 3 of them in the deck. The Monster Destruction, I guess, is a bit less common. Mirror Force isn't used a lot currently. Now Dark Hole at least has the option to be used more often. What else? You have Monster Gates and Rekindling. Okay, Monster Gate Rekindling for some big spam plays. Maybe your levels, your other fire decks. How well does Rekindling work with Salamangreat? I wonder. Are there a lot of Salamangreats with 200 defense? 3. Coyote, Fennec, Foul. So they're probably specifically just 200 to make it work a little bit with the Rekindling. Because it's just such a well-known fire support card. But they don't work as well with them. And wait, Super Poly! Okay, so Super Poly is back to 3, so... Okay, so maybe maybe I can't really go that much of the Chaos way in terms of my Shadol deck. Then again, I made that Shadol deck when it was, I think, just Winda and Construct and maybe one of the others, the Earth one, Shikinaga. So because there's more options now, I guess maybe I don't focus on the light and dark as much, even though those are still very useful cards. So I don't really focus on the Chaos thing. But 3 Super Polys, that's awesome for Shadol. It's amazing for Cyber decks in general due to is it Violet Chimera? Yeah, you can just take one of the opponent's Link monsters. That can be a really useful card if you have Salamangreat or just 1 or 2 Salamangreat cards in your deck. There's some other cards that work really well with Super Poly. Yeah, the Shadol fusions will really like that. Just have one of them in your deck, I guess. Something I definitely need to learn to do compared to the previous time. The links. There were no link mods last time I played Shadol, so it'll be interesting to see how I work around that and how different my deck list will be, especially the extra deck and some of the support cards, I guess, to work with that. There's a few new cards since then as well. Not that many for Shadol. Maybe some other support cards outside of the archetype that can just be useful. Just like how I use Eclipse Wyvern and Wyvern Burster and Collapse Serpent and things like that. Solemn Judgment. So you want to negate stuff? Well, I got you a Solemn Judgment, and you use it 3 times in your deck now. I think it was back in 2013, 14 that there was just a huge hit on a bunch of different trap cards. I think Mirror Force was one of them. Bottom's Trap, Torrential Tributes, a lot of those very common trap cards were all hit. At the same time, things like Heavy Storm was hit. Solemn Judgment, I think, was one of them. And now Solemn Judgment is back to 3. So let's see who will use this. It's a very hefty cost. Half your life, especially early game. That costs a lot, but it can negate an inherent summon. So a summon that doesn't start a chain. Inherent isn't an official term, so I should just say a summon that doesn't start a chain. Or a spell trap effect activation. Okay. Spell trap card activation, not effect. That's different. Solemn Judgment back at 3. Okay, there's a lot of changes. Things that I can use, things that other people can use. So this is the final card, Solemn Judgment. Okay. So no changes on the baby dragon rulers. Which means for the first time since the Dragon Ruler era, which kind of became the Dragon Ruler and Spellbook era when Spellbook of Judgment was released, but let's just call it a Dragon Ruler era for ease of conversation. For the first time since then, it's a big dragon and its baby dragon are both legal. In this case, Tempest and Lightning. So I wonder, why was Tempest chosen? Discuss in the comments, why do you think Tempest was brought back? And if you have that answer, why was Tempest brought back but not Tidal or Redux or Blaster? Why do you think that is? And what do you think of the rest of the list? Because there's a lot of changes. What was it about the field spell cards? Is it just Light Stage that made Terraforming and Metaverse be a hit? Or was there more? I think some of them like make sense. A bit of Salamangreat. I guess Altergeist is still one of the top or getting their decks. Bardiche was hit. Eclipse Wyvern. Some of the ones I understand or I can understand because they just seem very useful. Some of them I'm not really sure about. Like the chaos things and the field spell. I think the field spell things are more easily explained. I think because I've seen more of at least light stage. But why terraforming a metaverse as well? If you could let me know that, please, that'd be appreciated. And in addition to that, the three chaos cards that were hit: Eclipse Wyvern, Black Dragon, Collapse Serpents, and White Dragon Wyvern Burster. Why were those hit? I'm not sure. A lot of changes, some new possibilities in the future. Some of the older limited, semi-limited, even forbidden cards. No, not the forbidden cards coming back, but the limited, semi-limited ones. Qliphort, Qliphort's got to come back. Yeah, as I said, I'm gonna try Dragonfly the Inzectors soon, I think. And Shadows are definitely a deck that I want to use again. The Inzectors aren't really an extra deck archetype, even though they do have some Xyzes, but they're not that dependent, I think, on their links. I definitely would want multiple fusions in Shadow. So then I would want the Shadow link, so Shadow construct. We're gonna have to see how things work out. Please let me know what you think of the list. If there's anything you would have hoped was hit but wasn't. Are there things? Let me know that if you think, oh, this was hit, but why this doesn't? This seems so strange. I would not have brought that back at all. Tempest, perhaps. Please let me know that in the comments as well, and then I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.